નમસ્કાર, હું આદર્શ છું. વેલકમ ટુ આદર્શ એજ્યુકેશન સોસાયટી.
Standard 9th, Subject Science, Chapter 15, Improvement in Food Resources. Dear students, in the last video we have discussed crop variety improvement, crop production improvement, crop protection management. So these are all we have discussed in the last video. But now today we discuss what is manure and what is fertilizer and irrigation. So now we'll see that what is manure. Manure is an organic matter. It's an organic matter from the nature, from the decomposition of the plants and animals. This is preparing to improve the fertility of the soil. So this is called as a manure. And this is helps in enriching the soil. The advantages, it enriches the soil with nutrients and organic matter. And next one, it increases the soil fertility. It increases the water holding capacity. So like this, these are all advantages of using the manure. The bulk of organic matter, bulk means a little group, a little bit a quantity is bulk. We are saying grouping together. The bulk of organic matter in manure helps in improving the soil structure also. Soil quality and soil structure will be improving, water holding capacity will be improving in the sandy soil, increasing the water holding capacity. In the clay soil, it helps in drainage and avoiding the water logging. Drainage means water removal of water, and logging also, it will not store in any place. So these are all the using the advantages of using the manure. In using the manure, we use biological waste. Biological waste we are the living waste, which is advantageous in protecting our environment from excessive use of the fertilizers. So using the biological waste material is also a recycling from the waste. So it will be a kind of recycling the waste. So based on the kind of the biological material it is used, so manures are classified as there are pre-compost and vermicompost and green manure. So like this way classification it is done. See, compost means what? The process in which farm waste materials like livestock or livestock excreta, cow dung and so on, vegetable waste or animal waste, domestic waste, sewage waste, these all will be, or straw means that plants, whenever the paddy and this all weeds are growing, that what you are saying sticks, that is the straw. These are all decomposed in the pit, dug in the pit. So that is all going on, allowed to decomposing. Okay, so in this way, the decomposed in the pits. This is called as a composting. You are saying. So this method is composting method. This compost is also prepared by using the earth. So this is the one method. See, by decomposing all the types of biological waste. So it is a composting method. And other method will be there, vermicompost. And here what? The decomposition is done by the earthworm. See, to process, to make it hasten. See, compost is also prepared by using the earthworms to hasten. Hasten means to make the process fast, the decomposition of the plant and animal refuse. So this is called as, what you are saying, vermicompost. This is also very, very important one. Vermicompost you are saying. Okay, this is also so important one. And green manure. So here asking dear students, what is mean by compost and vermicompost? And then next one is green manure. See, prior to the sowing of the crop pits, some plants like some of the plants are using sarnam or guar, you are saying. These plants are grown and then mulched. Mulched means what? This is used to cover the top of the layer, floughing them then into the soil. By floughing them into the soil. So in this way, they will mix up. These green plants thus turn to green manure, which helps in enriching the soil in the nitrogen and phosphorus. So it makes the enriching the soil in the nitrogen and phosphorus. Okay. So this is about the green manure we are saying. Now next we will discuss fertilizers. So these fertilizers are commercially produced with plant nutrients. See, this one is commercial by the industrial process. Okay, these are commercially produced nutrients. And these fertilizers supply nitrogen, phosphorus, and also potassium. So this contains nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. They are used to ensure. So this advantage is what? To ensure duration healthy plants and high yielding and hence good vegetable growth of the leaves, branches, flowers. So give rise to the healthy plants. Fertilizers are the factors in the higher yields also. So this way this is also very advantageous will be there. At the same time here you will find disadvantages also. See, excessive fertilizers should be applied carefully, but here you have before applying or before using the fertilizers, because these are all chemical fertilizers. So here applied carefully in the term proper dose. So you hear proper dose means proper amount should be used. Time to time also observing the pre and post applications without planning should be there. And for example, sometimes fertilizers get washed away due to excessive whenever rain comes, washed away and are absorbed by the plants. This excessive fertilizer leads to the water pollutions also. And also we have seen that this continuous use of fertilizers in an area can destroy the soil fertility. So it will destroy the soil fertility, soil texture, because the organic matter in the soil is not replenished, not renewed by the microorganisms in the soil, are harmed by the fertilizers. And short-term benefits by using the fertilizers, but long-term benefits using this one for maintaining the soil fertility they have to be considered. So long-term will be what manures should do well, but short-term the fertilizers. While aiming the optimum yields means our what the desirable yield, quantity, the productions, the crop productions. So in this way, this is also, so here by using the fertilizer you will find advantages and disadvantages, but here care should be taken before using that. And next one is green. Actually, what is the here? Organic farming is given. Organic farming means it's a farming system with minimal and no use of chemical fertilizers. So this one is what you are using without biological this only. And here chemicals, fertilizers will not be used, herbicides, pesticides, these all will be not there, with maximum input of only the organic manures, recycled farm waste only, straw, livestock, excreta, these are all used. Use of bioagents such as culture of blue green algae in the preparation of biofertilizers, neem leaves, turmerics, especially in the grain storage, and also as biopesticides with healthy cropping systems. So this are all you will find that organic system. In the organic system you will find. So this one is a natural one. Okay, this is the natural one. These cropping systems are beneficial in the insect, pest and weed control besides providing the nutrients. So this is also a kind of organic manure, is a natural way of preparing by the green leaves and vegetable waste. Now next we will come to this irrigation. Irrigation means what? Water supply to the field. So this is called as irrigation. Most agriculture in India is rain-fed. So mostly in India agriculture depends upon the rain. That is the success of the crops. In most areas is dependent on the timely monsoon we are depending. Sufficient rainfall spread through the most of the growing season, then only the crops can grow. Hence the poor monsoon sometimes cause crop failure, poor monsoon. So if there is no rain or irregular rain, the crop goes failure. Ensuring that the crops get water at right stages. See here, crops needed water at right stages and regular amount, and growing season in the increasing expected yields of any crop. So therefore, many measures are used to bring more and more agricultural land under irrigation. So you know that India has a very variety of water resources and highly varied climate also there. Very different climates. Under such conditions, several kinds of irrigation systems are adopted. So due to this, by looking this system, various systems are adopted to supply the water to the agricultural lands, depending on the kinds of the water resources available. Okay, depending on the water resources available. So this includes walls, canals, tanks, so like this, and river lift systems, and so on. So you'll see that what wells, see, wells means what? There are two types of wells, namely dug wells and tube wells. Digging the well, by digging, and then tube wells. So in dug well, water is collected from water bearing strata. Where water will be available, they will dug it. And tube wells can tap water from the deeper strata also. From the tube is there, from the deeper areas or deeper regions, you can take out the water. So these wells, water is lifted by pumps for the irrigation. So in this way, by using the wells, here dug wells and tube wells also supplies water to the fields. And next one is by the canal system. Canal system is what? This is usually elaborate, impressive one and extensive one, larger one. The area in this system, canals receive water from one or more reservoirs or from one or more from the rivers also. The main canal is here, main canal will be there, that is diverted into branches, having further distributes to irrigate the fields. So in this way, the canal system is also an important way can be water supplied to the fields. Next one is river lift systems. In areas where canal flow is insufficient, see, in some of the areas you know that, where canal flow is insufficient or irregular due to the inadequate reservoir collection of water. So what is there? They have to go for river, from the river they have to carry and supply to the water is directly drawn from the rivers for supplying the irrigation in the areas. Okay, who can do this one? Those who are means closely living by the rivers. So means those who are very close to the rivers, they can use the river lift system also. By lifting you have to take to the water and you have to supply to the field. And another one is by tanks method, by the tank. So there are small storage. These are all very small storage reservoirs which intercept and store the water and smaller catchment of areas. So this one you can use only small areas will be there, the irrigation, so it can be done with the help of the tanks, okay, by storing the waters. So these are all about the types of irrigation methods. So fresh initiatives for increasing the water available for agriculture include now rainwater harvesting. So you learn in the next one, rainwater harvesting will be there. And watershed management also will be there. This involves buildings and also small check dams, which leads to the groundwater, increase the level of the groundwater. So the check dams stop the rainwater and from flowing away and also reduce the soil erosion. So these are the methods. Nowadays, what is fresh methods, fresh initiative, increasing advantageous methods like water harvesting system and watershed management. So in this way, so this helps to increase the groundwater level also, and the check dam also that stop the rainwater instead of flowing away in anywhere. So this will also, and also that helps to reduce the soil erosion. So these are all the nowadays modern methods are using for the irrigation. Okay, so these are all about today's discussion. What is manure and what is fertilizers, and types of manure you have learnt, and fertilizers are also why the fertilizers and how to use it, and next irrigation, and here in irrigation also types of systems will be there. Okay, this system also are so important. Okay, now you will learn in the next video cropping patterns. Cropping patterns, what is meant by cropping patterns, and crop protection management. So this you will learn in the next video. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you for joining us.